Today, we are going to try to hit a mechanic with every single letter in the alphabet. So, first up, we have Z. Now, I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do for Z here. Alright, so the first mechanic we're going to go for is a Zen Touch. So, I found a pretty good map that should work. So, we're going to try to get a Z, and then like see that was good, but we want to try to get a no bounce one. Wait. All right, and there we go. Let's see the replay here. This is in fact a Zen Touch, so we are one down, 25 more to go. All right, and we're spinning the wheel. We got a C, maybe a D. A D. All right, let's see what we're gonna hit. All right, I think I have an idea of what I want to do here. So for this, we're gonna have to go over on the wall here, and we're gonna jump off. And we're gonna hit a Doomsday Dish just like that. But we're gonna try to do no bounce, and we're gonna try to make it look better. All right, there we go. That's D. That was super easy. Doomsday Dish. It's pretty simple, but we will be moving on to the next letter in the next mechanic. All right, our second letter that we're gonna hit is going to be a J. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna go for a Jazer Flick. So, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's kind of like that, but we're gonna see if I can get a better one. There we go. That's kind of the same that we got, but I mean, that's a Jazer Flick right here. It's kind of like, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy, but moving on to the next letter. All right, the next letter is going to be L. Oh wait, L. Okay, this one might be a little difficult. All right, I think I'm gonna go for a licks jump. Truth be told, I've never really like attempted to do this before, so I don't really know how to do it. But I think it's something like, no, it's something like with the wheels on your car here. It's gotta like, oh, this one might be a little difficult here. Bang! Oh my gosh. Guys, you have to, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was at this 40 minutes. So, I know it bounced once, but that is the best you're gonna get out of me, guys. So, on to the next letter. Oh my gosh. Alright, next letter is going to be an M. Alright, this one is pretty easy to do. Alright, we're gonna go into training, and we're gonna go M. So, everyone should know a nice little musty flick. There we go. Alright, that's a good musty. I'm satisfied with that. So, that's M. So now we're on to the next letter. Alright, let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Oh, we're gonna get an A. Alright, this one should be pretty easy to do. Alright, for this one I loaded up free play. This one's super simple. We're gonna go on the wall, go in the air, get under the ball here, and we are gonna hit a super easy air dribble. Nothing fancy, gets the job done, and it moves us on to the next letter already. Alright, let's spin the wheel to see what our next letter is going to be. We're thinning it out, so hopefully we get some easy ones. Alright, T. I got a good idea of what I'm going to do for this one. Alright, for this one, I loaded up the free play. It should be pretty obvious what I'm going to go for here. We're going to go for a nice little turtle goal. Maybe get a little turtle air dribble going here. Alright, setup is perfect. There we go. And there we go. Alright, that was super easy. Did it fairly quickly for me. And honestly, it looked pretty good. Had great control on the ball, used the flip and everything. Alright, so the last one we hit yesterday was a turtle goal. So today we are going to have to hit A letter starting with C. Okay. Okay, I think I got an idea. All right, so we're gonna load into free play. All right, we're gonna hit the ball like this here a little bit. We're gonna go for a cut shot. Bang. Bar down. No one's saving that. Already on to the next letter. All right, next up on the wheel is going to be. It's going to be a V. Okay, okay. All right, for the letter V, we are going to go to my garage. We're going to go to cars, and we are going to search up the Vulcan. Here, this beauty is. We're going to score a goal with the Vulcan in an online game. All right, here we go. So all we have to do is score a goal. I'm doing casual because, you know, I'm not used to this car, but we're going to see if we can score a goal using this car. Oh my gosh. Dude, what the heck? The lag reset. That might have to be my L. All right, that's the goal. So we got the V done. Now let's see if we can get the win for the double V. All right, there we go. We got the win. We got him by forfeit. So not only do we get V for Vulcan, we also got V for victory. On to the next letter. All right, so back to the wheel. Let's see what the next letter is going to be. I also realized that the bottom thing wasn't changing. So sorry about that. So this time we have to do the letter H. All right, this next one's super easy. I changed back into the Fennec for this one. It's gonna be a super hard shot. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna half flip, and we're gonna do half, and we're gonna half flip. I just did it 3 times in a row. So I know it's pretty hard mechanic to do, but that's already on to the next letter. Hopefully just an easy one, get it out the way. A K. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do for this one. All right, for this one, it might be difficult. I might get it first try, but we're gonna go for a Cuxer pinch, and I just scored it first try. Let's see the KPH. I want it to be like a pretty good 99. I think we can do better. Oh, come on, that's gotta be over 100. 122. Oh my gosh. Are going to spin on the letter E. Okay. Now this one's gonna be a good one. Okay. As you see for this one, we are in the drop section, and we are gonna open exotic drop. And we get some really bad wheels. But just like that, we're on to the next letter. Okay. Next letter that we are gonna get is going to be the letter O. All right, for this one, we're going to load in the training, and as you see, we're going to hit an open net. One of the hardest mechanics in the game, and it's been done. On to the next letter. All right, for the next letter of the day, we're going to get a G. All right, for G, we're going to stay in training, and we're going to go for a ground pinch and see how fast we can get it. Here we go. This one could be good. Oh, that was pretty good. As you see, I switched to the Dominus because I just thought, yeah, 125 kph. Switch to the Dominus because I thought it was just going to give me better pinches, and I'll take that. On to the next letter. All right, for the next letter, I realized I forgot to update it to G, but it was G. So for the next letter, we're going to get an P. We're going to get a P. We're going to go for pop reset. I'm going to use this map, full court air dribbles. I'll put the code up in the middle, and we're going to use shot 5. 1 touch, 2 touch. Now we got to hit the pop. Bang. There we go. It wasn't like a crazy pop, but this is, in fact, a pop reset. You want to get a touch here, and then you just want to pop it. Goes up a little bit. It wasn't the greatest, but that moves us to the next letter. All right, not many letters to go. Our next letter is going to be a B. Okay, I got a really good idea for this one. All right, for B, we're going to be back in training, and we're going to go for a breezy flick. It's kind of like the musty flick, but it's a little different. Boom. Just like that. It's a little sideways, but It was good. So basically, you just want to do like a little spin beforehand, and then you want to musty it. It's pretty simple. So on to the next letter. All right, first letter of the day. We only have, I think, 10 left, so we're dwindling it down. We're gonna get an R. All right, this one should be pretty simple. All right, for R, we're gonna do a reset. Okay, we're gonna go up the wall here. We're gonna get the reset, and we're just gonna use it. And just like that, we're on to the next letter. All right, spin the wheel again, and we are going to get the letter Y. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get the letter Y. Let's see what we can do here. All right, I was thinking about this one for a while, and I think I have an idea. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go to this car, because if you look at this car and you look at the topper, it's a yonder crown. So we're gonna score a goal with this yonder car. All right, so we're loaded up into an online match because I don't want to just go into training and score it. So we're gonna score it on a real person. All right, there we go. We won the kickoff, and that's gonna be a yonder goal right there. On to the next letter. All right, we're down to only a few more. Come on, let's see how many more we got. I. All right. So for I couldn't really think of anything too good. I'm just gonna go for like an instant flick. So as soon as I get the ball in my head, I'm gonna flick it. So we're gonna go like this and then instantly flick it. Perfect. That's bar down. So as you can see, as soon as I got the ball in my head here, I instantly flicked it. So on to the next letter. All right, here we go. Next letter is going to be an F. All right, I got this one. Okay, so for F, I'm just gonna go for a flick. So we're gonna get the ball in our head here, and we're gonna flick it. Nothing fancy. It's also a front flip flick, so it's a double F, and so that already moves us on to the next letter. All right, here we go. We only have 6 more. This is gonna be the last one of the day, I think. So hopefully we can do something that's not this. Oh my goodness. X. All right, let's see what I can come up with. All right, for X, I think I'm gonna have to go to garage here, and I'm gonna have to search up a car that starts with X, the X Devil. All right, so we're in the online game here, and we're just gonna score a goal with this car. Bang. All right, we got the X Devil goal. We're gonna start off with Q. We're gonna do a quick aerial. It's pretty much fast aerial, but we're gonna call it a quick aerial because I can't think of anything else. Boom. Just like that. Literally exact same sentence. All you do is you fast aerial and we score it. So we're moving on to the next letter. All right, for our next mechanic and letter, it's gonna be a W. All right, let's see. All right, for W, we're gonna go into training and we're just gonna hit a wave dash. We're gonna hit a couple of them. And yeah, just like that, we're already on to the next letter. Okay, we're down to the big 3. Let's see what we get. We're gonna get the letter S. All right, let's see what we can do with this one. All right, for S, we're gonna go into training here, and we're gonna do a speed flip. See, just like that. We're just gonna hit a couple speed flips here, and we're on to the next letter. All right, only 2 more remain, an N and a U, which is funny because they look the exact same, but this one is the U. So let's finish them out. Okay, for you, we're gonna go into training here. We're gonna get the ball in our head, and we're gonna go for an upside down flip. So we're gonna like this and like that. But we're gonna do it better. All right, we're gonna get the ball upside down on our head here. We're gonna flip into it just like that. And that is you complete. All right, we are down to the last letter. It's been a journey, and we are gonna get the letter N. So let's finish this series out right here. All right, for the letter N, we're gonna go for a no bounce ceiling shot because when I did the C, I did like a cut shot and I completely forgot about the ceiling shot. So I'm gonna make it up to you guys right now. All right, here we go. Bang, bang. Wasn't like the greatest ceiling musty double, but I mean, it didn't bounce at all. Let's make sure it didn't bounce here. And yeah, we're good. That is it of the alphabet letter challenge. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, share, follow, do it all. And I'll see you guys next time.